Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss on the topic My Greatest Olympic Prize, which is written by Jesse Owens. In today's lesson, I will discuss important question and answers. Hope it will be beneficial for you in your studies. So dear children, here I begin. And before that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you have not subscribed up till now, then please do. And watch the video till end. And press the like button, and I'm sure you will like it. And don't forget to press the bell icon for my latest notification. Also leave a comment below. So dear children, let us start with the lesson My Greatest Olympic Prize, which is written by Jesse Owens. The important question and answers. These question answers will help you to know the lessons very well. So, my first question is, why was Jesse not worried about Hitler's declaration of the supremacy of masters race? And the answer is, Jesse Owens did not bother about the patriotic feeling which were running high in Germany. He had full faith in his capabilities. He had trained, sweated, and disciplined himself for 6 years, and what occupied his mind were games and games only. He thought only of taking 1 or 2 gold medals. Question number 2. What surprised him? And the answer is, Jesse Owens was surprised to see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice leaps on the broad jump trials. He was a German named Long, who was kept hidden by Hitler with the hope to win the jump. His marvelous performance in the trials startled Owens. Question number 3. An angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistakes, as any coach will tell you. Justify this statement. And the answer is, although Jesse Owens' full concentration was on his game and winning the gold medal, but he got distracted somewhat after seeing Long's performance. He thought that if he won, it would add support to Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. He got irritated by this, and thinking about this, he was filled with anger and fouled twice in the qualifying jumps. Question number 4. What was the Nazis' Aryan superiority theory? And the answer is, Adolf Hitler believed in Aryan superiority theory. According to him, the athletes of Germany should be from masters race and would do better than other competent in the 1936 Berlin Olympics. The nationalists' feelings were at prime at that time. Question number 5. Why did Jesse Owens become so tensed afterwards? And the answer is, on his first 3 qualifying jumps, Jesse Owens leaped from several inches beyond the takeoff board. He fouled. On the second jump, he did worse and fouled again. It reminded him that he had not traveled 300 miles for making repeated fouls and making fool of himself. His mind was full of bitterness over his own underperformance. Question number 6. Why did Jesse Owens kick the pit in disgust? And the answer is Owens was already angry with Hitler's Nazi theory, and an angry athlete is prone to making mistakes. Owens knew this very well. Still, he could not control his temper, and on his first trial, he leaped several inches beyond the takeoff point, which resulted in disqualification. He walked a few yards from the pit and kicked it in despair and disgust. Question number 7. What was eating him, and did he tell it to lose long? And the answer is Jesse Owens was hot under the collar with Hitler's childish theory, because of which his trial performance was affected. He had a very bad impact on him after fouling in the final qualifying jumps, and this was eating him. He did not tell it to lose long on being asked as what bothered him, because by that time Long was not his friend. He was simply a co-athlete, apart from being a Nazi rival. Question number 8. Describe Luz Long's physique. And the answer is Luz Long was blue-eyed, tall German athlete. He was an inch taller than Jesse Owens. He had a lean, muscular body. He carried blunt hair and was astonishingly handsome, and had a well-chiseled face or a perfectly carved face. Question number 9. What were Luz Long's views about Aryan supremacy theory? And the answer is, in the trials for the long jump event, Jesse fouled on his first 2 attempts. Luz Long, the top German broad jumper who had qualified for the finals, came to him and gave his introduction. Though he was trained in Nazi school, he did not believe in Hitler's Aryan supremacy theory that his performers were from the master's race and would perform better than the others, and that no one could beat them. He advised Owens to play safe. Question number 10. What did Luz Long suggest? Jesse Owens, what did Luz Long suggest Owens or children? This question can also be framed as how did he calm down Owens? Or you can also speak how did he help Jesse Owens to come out of the trouble? So in any way you can question this particular question. The question may be asked in any particular manner. And the answer to this question is Jesse did not tell Luz Long about his trouble, but he seemed to understand his anger. He tried to ease out the situation by explaining that he did not believe in Aryan supremacy business. And when Jesse was calmed down, Long suggested him to draw a line a few inches in back of the board and aim at making his takeoff from that line. He assured him that he would never foul from that point. This helped Owens a lot. Now, next question number 11. How did the rivalry between the two players come to an end? And the answer is, seeing Jesse Owens tensed too much, Luz Long approached him and tried to calm him down by giving suggestions. Suddenly, all the tensions seemed to flow away from his body as the truth what long told him struck him. Full of confidence, he drew a line a full foot in back of the board and proceeded to jump and qualified with almost a foot to spare. That night he went to Long's room and thanked him. They sat and talked for 2 hours on every topic. Question number 12. How did Lose Long react to Jesse winning the gold medal? And the answer is when Owens finished his jump, he found Lose Long beside him, congratulating him. He gave him a firm handshake, which was far from any jealousy. He did not bother about the wrath of Hitler and congratulated Jesse Owens. He failed but helped a capable world record holder to set other records. Question number 13. Why did Hitler glare at both of them? And the answer is Lose Long broke his past record but did not win. But Jesse Owens set the Olympic record of jumping 26 feet 5 and 16 inches. Lose Long came to his side, congratulating him by shaking his hands hard. Hitler was watching all this, and he was not 100 yards away from them. He could not tolerate the defeat of his athlete, and besides congratulating the other athlete, he glared at both of them. Question number 14. Why the reference of Coubertin has been made? And the answer is Coubertin is said to be the founder of the modern Olympic Games. He believed that most important thing in the Olympic game is not winning but participating, that is taking part in the Olympic Games. The essential thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. Lose Long did not win, but he presented the true example of this spirit. Question number 15. What is the significance of 24 karat friendship in the story? And the answer is when Jesse Owens won the finals, Lose Long came to him and congratulated him warmly by shaking hands with him. Owens found no feeling of regret or jealousy in him as he was also an opponent. He was too much influenced by Long's sportsmanship. Then he said that their friendship was 24 karat friendship because it is the purest form of gold in which there is no other alloy. In the same way, there was no mixture or any kind of element in their friendship, and moreover, its coating could not be done even by melting all the gold medals and cups. Question number 16. How did Jesse bring up about his expectations and anxiety before the win? And the answer is, in this article, paying tribute to his fellow sportsman, Jesse Owens frankly tells about his feelings before the win. Expectations were high, confidence was up, but there were some moments which upset him and made him underestimate himself. It was at that time when Hitler proclaimed that his performers who belonged to the Masters race would win in the games, and where Jesse, the son of a sharecropper and the grandson of a slave, got the opportunity to participate in the Olympics. He was not only bothered about it, as he had practiced well. He had broken the record in running broad jump of Ohio State University Championship, and his confidence level was up. So were the expectations of his countrymen. Jesse Owens was in for a surprise when he saw a young German in the pit, easily going through his practice leaps. He was crossing almost 26 feet. Hitler had kept him under wraps to prove his Nazi Aryan superiority theory, and this irked Jesse a bit. He was a black man, a Negro, and he wanted to prove a point to Hitler and his men. Unfortunately, in his anger, he made several mistakes, and it seemed he would not even qualify. Question number 16. Trace the circumstances in which Jesse Owens achieved his incredible win after a lifelong friendship in 1936 Berlin Olympics. And the answer is, when Jesse was walking in disgust at his failure in making the qualifying jumps, he felt a hand on his shoulder and looked into the smiling blue eyes of a German athlete, offering a firm handshake. The tall young man introduced himself as Louis Long and inquired about what was bothering Jesse that had prevented him from qualifying easily. The German understood his anger and reassured him by making clear that he did not believe in Aryan superiority theory. He suggested that Jesse should draw a line a few inches back on the board and take off from there. He also told him that it was only the qualifying round. Whether he came first or not, it did not matter. It is the actual game that he should concentrate on. The tension seemed to vanish from his body, and Jesse qualified with almost a foot to spare. That night, the two talked about various things of interest, and a strong friendship had formed between them. That is, between Jesse Owens and Louis Long. Question number 17. Bring out the qualities of Louis Long as a sportsman and a friend. And the answer is, Louis Long was a true athlete who believed in playing the game in true sportsman spirit. He refused to be swayed by undue nationalist feelings, as he paid more importance to the spirit of the game rather than racial prejudices. He valued the capabilities of the black American who went on making mistakes due to his unexplainable anger at discrimination. He gave him actionable advice as to where to begin the jump. He reassured him by saying that he had to concentrate only on qualifying, as the true action would take place the next day. Any other sportsman would have felt happy at the discomfort of his rival, but not Louis Long, who respected true athlete capabilities. He knew that if Jesse Owens got into the right path, he would win, depriving him a chance to bag the gold and thereby hurt Hitler's ego of Aryan supremacy. Louis would definitely try to beat him, but at the same time, he wanted Jesse to do his best. He broke his own record, which inspired his rival to bring out his best of 26 feet 5'5" 16 inches. He was not the first person to congratulate. He was the first person to congratulate Jesse on his incredible feat. He gave a firm, genuine handshake in front of the glaring eyes of Hitler. With this gesture, he proved to the whole world the true motto of Olympics, which is not in winning but in participating. The essential thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. How much Jesse Owens valued the friendship is proved when he says that he could have melted all the medals he had won, but that would not come up to the 24-carat friendship he felt for the German. The friendship lasted till Luz was killed in action in World War II. Question number 18. An angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistakes. What is the mistake being talked about and how did Jesse feel at that point of time? And the answer is, although Jesse Owens' full concentration was on his game and winning the gold medal, he got distracted after seeing Luz Long's performance. He thought that if Luz won, it would add support to Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. He got irritated thinking about this. He was filled with anger and fouled twice in the qualifying jumps. His attitude towards his game had a very bad impact on him after fouling in the final qualifying jumps, and this was eating him up. Question number 19. How was the mistake that rectified and what was the result of it? And the answer is, the mistake of making foul twice was rectified with the help of Luz Long's fruitful advice. He suggested him to draw a line a few inches back of the board and aim at taking off from that line. His advice reassured Jesse Owens about him qualifying the jump without fouling. And children, this is question number 20 and my last question. Evaluate Luz Long as a sportsman and as a friend. And the answer is, Luz Long was a true sportsman and an amazing human being. He reduced Jesse Owens' tension by showing compassion. He gave him a friendly advice of how to draw a line a few inches before the board and take off from there to avoid the foul. This helped Owens to qualify. Later, when Owens met him after the trials in his quarter, both talked for 2 hours about a lot of things. He knew he would anger Hitler by being friendly with Jesse Owens, but did not pay any heed to it and developed a congenial relationship with him. He did not mind his defeat at all and showed no sign of jealousy towards Jesse Owens. Luz Long had a true spirit of sportsmanship. That is why when he saw Jesse Owens in trouble, he extended his hand to help him. Instead of seeing him as a rival, he was friendly with Jesse Owens. He proved to be Owens' true guide. He respected him and considered him as his equal. Although he also had pressure on him of winning the medal, but he did not have any hesitation in offering advice to an opponent. He helped Jesse Owens in coming out of distress. Besides, he was an amazing human being. He took himself just as a participant, and winning was only a matter of chance and efforts. Even after losing the game, He did not develop any rivalry towards Jesse. Rather, he congratulated Jesse Owens with a firm handshake in front of Hitler. When Jesse won the gold medal, he showed exceptional courage in befriending Jesse in front of his leader. So, dear children, you have seen the bond of friendship between both the participants, Jesse Owens and Louis Long. So, the bond of friendship existed, and the main motto of Olympics is the participation, which was proved by Louis Long. So, I hope these question answers will help you to understand the lessons very well and will help you to come out with flying colors. So, dear children, with these words, I end my lesson. Hope this lesson will be beneficial for you in your studies. Do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Thank you.